Hello, everybody. Hello, hello, hello. I'm coming here live tonight from my van in the or on the Mornington Peninsula, and oh my gosh, it's cold. Melbourne is freezing, but anyway, it's all good. And I've got all the clothes that will keep me warm, which is rather lovely. And I'm looking here to see if I can get my thing live on Instagram. Oh, I think it's gone live. Yes, it's gone live. That's exciting. Oh, me and technology just don't work sometimes. But anyway, I'm really happy to be here tonight. I've had a lovely day after being busy, 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 which I'll talk about in a second. Yeah, you met me on Friday, Leanne. That was really lovely. I'm going to talk about all of the things. So we, or I, I have had an absolute full-on time over the last week and a half, maybe it's 2 weeks, I can't even remember. I'm Mary, a friend of Donna. Lovely to meet you, Mary. Rob Jones, lovely to see you. Rob, I missed you sent a message and I haven't responded back to you, so I do apologize. But when you listen to what I've got to say, what I've been doing, you'll understand, because I've been a bit flat out. Anyway, I'm drinking out of one of my van mugs, and you are awesome. So it's actually really nice in the van. It's like home away from home, but it's all really good. So I've got all the things set up here with the I've got a ring light and the computer. It's exactly the same as at home, but I've got, like vans and flamingo cushions and things like that. It's really different, but it's really lovely. Anyway. Okay, so what have I been up to? So welcome to everybody, wherever you are in the world. And I'm loving the fact that more and more people are linking and joining and making comments. I can see Sandy, Mel, Jeffs, and so I'm struggling because the screens are not the same. Lynn Anning, nice to see you. Your name is a new name, so where are you from? Let me know. The other people I know you so far, apart from Mary, but you're Donna's friend, and Donna's gorgeous, really, really lovely. Anita Wynn, hello, lovely to see you. So this has been Natty Cat, which is Natalie. Natalie lives in Romsey, and I was just going to talk about that. We had the most amazing. Oh, Tanya, I saw your name today. Ian. Lorraine Costa, oh my gosh, we're just jumping in with all sorts. Carolyn Wom, lovely, lovely, lovely to see you all. But anyway, it's been a bit frantic in my world. It's always frantic in my world because I'm always busying and running around doing all sorts. But I started off heading up to Bathurst, which was great. Not good numbers, but there we go. But then I went to Canowindra, and of course it was the balloon festival. And it is the most, if you've never been, it is the most spectacular thing that I've ever seen. It is just these huge things glide so gracefully through the sky. And I just absolutely love them. So I was being a bit of a typical tourist and chasing them and taking photographs. So there's various pictures of me and my van and balloons and whatever. But I went up there initially to do a show to earn some money as part of the monies that Emily Thomas needs for her Tea Flame Centre. Yes, as part of her Olympic bid. So this is where she's planning to go. And with the monies that we've raised and the club, so I raised some money. The club did a raffle and they raised over $1,000. And she's actually going to Fiji in June. And she's going to be in the Oceania Games. And she's competing in the hammer throwing, goodness me, for the under 18s. Now, that's a pretty big, so I wrote it down here. It's the Oceania Olympic Championships. So that is pretty good. So she's done so well. I think she came ninth in Australia. So I feel very proud of the fact that I was part of, or she's a friend of mine, and I'm part of the, the helping them to get there. But I know Annette, her mum, is working really, really hard, and through the balloon festival, they did T-shirts and beer holders and all sorts of things. So you'll be seeing me donning the T-shirts because, yeah, I've got some as well. Really exciting. So that was really good. But so don't forget healing names, please. That's really important. And also any questions that you've got to ask. Now, one of the things that I want to say is when I was doing the workshop the other day, so I went from Canowindra to Romsey, which is north of Melbourne, and goodness me, was that a shock to the system because it was 7 degrees. Today it was 10 degrees and it only got to a maximum of 16 on the peninsula, but 7 degrees and I was freezing. But, I was warmed by the welcome that I got from everybody. It was really lovely. People that I'd never met before, and I'd only met Nat once, maybe twice, but I can only remember the once. She made me so welcome, and she organized all of it. So I had 2 days of readings, and then I had a show, which we had a fantastic turnout for, and then I did a workshop, and it was really, really lovely. A summer's day for you. Ian, shut up. That's not very fair. Gail, lovely to see you. But anyway, so Nat put an awful lot of hard work into this, and she also was selling her crystals, and her lovely husband Craig had made log lamps and wands and things like that. So it was really, really good. I sold some books as well, which was exciting. But the show was lovely. It was I get disappointed sometimes when you don't get numbers because the energy is not there, but the numbers were there. The energy was fantastic and we had such fun. And I love looking at the photographs afterwards because there's me, pulling funny faces and weird stances and blah, blah, blah. Anyway, I put them up because I think, oh, well, that was what was taken. And Nat and Dot took the photographs, so they caught me mid-stride. It's quite funny, but it was such a lovely, lovely evening. I thoroughly enjoyed it. And then the workshop the following day. Hi, Jenny. I hope you're well because I know you keep getting lots of problems with your chest. Anyway, so the workshop was fantastic. But one of the first questions I asked the ladies and the man, there was one man. I love it when there's an obligatory man in a workshop. But I asked them, did they know anything about the pioneers of mediumship? And only 1 or 2 people did. Now, Nat was one of them because she reads all these incredible books on spiritualism and pioneers and things like that. Hello, Luke. Oh gosh, are you in cold on a, what is it? Wombat Pines, I think it's called. I hope you are. Bella, I hope you're feeling better. Donna, hello, good to see you. Fiona, good to see you. Sorry that you're not feeling better. Jenny, I'll put you on my healing list. Home in Sydney. Okay. And anyway, so I asked the people at the workshop, did they know about the pioneers? And only 2 people did. And I was very impressed that as I was in Nat's home, she's got all these very, very, very old books on spiritualism. And some of them are really, really hard to get hold of now. You just, they're not in publication and you can't get them. And she was talking about one of them, 30 years in 30 years in the dead, or 30 years of the dead. I can't remember the exact title, but it's a fascinating book. So there are so many give me the name of that book, Nat, so I can tell everybody. But there are so many wonderful, wonderful books. Some of them are hard to read because they've been written a long time ago. 30 Years Amongst the Dead, yeah. And I actually have that one sitting in my bookshelf as well. And I've got, like Nat, I've got hundreds of books to do with Carl Wickland, thank you. But hundreds of books to do with spiritualism. But when I asked them, do you know anything about the pioneers of spiritualism? I was shocked that only 2 people out of the 10 did. So we were talking about the Fox sisters, and pretty passionate about all the pioneers. One, because I had to study it for my exams for the SNU, Spiritual National Union, but also because, oh, hi, Rosemary. Lovely to see you. I need to talk to you because I need to get you on here one week or 1 month. So I got more than the flu, I think, started meds today. Good, Belle. And I'm sending lots of healing. But anyway, coming back to the pioneers. So the Fox sisters, nobody knew about the Fox sisters apart from two of them. And the Fox sisters are so important to modern day spiritualism, because if it wasn't for them, we wouldn't have spiritualism. They were the ones who heard the rappings. They were the ones who proved that the guy that was, rapping and make it, because they made an alphabet, and they worked out what he was saying, and he told them that he'd been murdered by Charles B. Rosner and that he was buried in the cellar. And oh no, he was Charles B. Rosner, and he'd been buried in the cellar by the owner of the inn, and I've forgotten his name, John something, I think it is. Anyway, and they went into the cellar and they looked and they couldn't find him. So of course the girls were disbelieved. But many years later, they actually found the grave, the bones, and his little tin, because he was a peddler. So I think all those stories are fantastic. So that was the first, the start of modern day spiritualism. Spirit and spiritualism has been with us for many centuries. I mean, it's in the Bible. There's so many stories. I remember my teacher telling me that story was about spiritualism, but we didn't look at it that way we didn't look at it that way now. Anyway, so amongst these pioneers, which there are many, I wrote down today, and some of the books you should read, because if you get the chance, because these people are incredible. They were strip searched before doing a demonstration. Now, I can't imagine, as a medium of today, being strip searched and cavity searched before, excuse me if that's offensive, but before doing a dem. But they did. So we should have a lot more respect for those people, understanding what they actually went through. So we've got Emma Hardinge Britten, who came to Australia in the late 1800s. Estelle Roberts, who was from London, I believe. Arthur Conan Doyle, who came over here in the 1920s. And he's the writer of the Sherlock Holmes books, but he was very spiritual. And there's D.D. Hume, who used to levitate out of windows. That was one of the things that he did. He told people what he was going to do, and in a trance state, he was sitting on a chair, the chair lifted up with him, the window opened, he went out of the window, went along the side of the building. There were no balconies, no ledges, nothing. And the window opened to the next room, and he came in, and then he came back again. So how on earth does all of that happen? And then we've got more modern day pioneers like Gordon Higginson. I love the stories of Gordon Higginson. I wished I'd met him, but sadly I didn't. He passed before I got to the college. But he, again, is incredible. He could give names and telephone numbers and addresses, inside leg measurements. And he had this terribly frightful accent as well. And just love watching him. He's incredible. Battling Bertha, she fought so hard to clear the name of Helen Duncan. And she fought very hard for modern day spiritualism as well. So, and Kardec. Now it's interesting because yesterday I was doing and yes, Donna, I'll put your name down for healing, most definitely. And Robert's heard of the Fox sisters, but not many people. Doris Stokes is a fantastic example. Yeah. She did the Albert Hall, and the Albert Hall was packed. And if anybody knows the Albert Hall, it holds an awful lot of people. And because she was not 100% in herself, she had to sit on a chair, and she knew exactly where she was going or where she was directed. Incredible. Hello, Mark. Lovely to see you. But Kardec, interesting. Yesterday, I was doing a market. Now, I don't normally do markets, but I agreed to do this market. I'll talk about that in a minute. But I had a security guard because I couldn't get my van in. Yes, she was amazing, Luke. You're right. But I couldn't get my van in the car parks because my van is 3.2 meters high and I would have taken the top off. I've done that once before, so I didn't want to do that again. So they said, well, you're going to have to park in the paddock. And I said, oh, I don't know where that is. So they directed me, and the security guard met me the other side. Anyway, we were chatting on the way back, and he was a lovely, lovely young man, and he had an accent. I didn't know where his accent was from, and he asked me what I was doing and why I was doing it, and blah blah blah. So, but lovely. Anyway, I forgot my banner, so I had to go back over. So he escorted me again, and so he said, "So what is your spiritualism?" So I told him, and he said. And I thought, I know, I know. I said, where are you from? And I knew it was from Brazil. He said, Brazil. And I said, so you study spiritism and believe in spiritism? He said, what's the difference? I said, it's practically the same. And I think it's practically the same. I've spoken to my osteopath who lives in Sydney, who was Brazilian and was talking to me about spiritism. So how spooky. And then he tells me, he said, "Oh, do you know about Kardec?" And I said, "Of course I know about Kardec. I've seen the film. I've got all his books." And Kardec was in a guy in the 1700s who did big experiments as far as mediumship was concerned. And he said, well, my auntie who lives in Brazil, she channels and she's written so many books and she's got her own radio station. Now, what are the chances of meeting a security guard who has those links like that? I just thought it was incredible. Anyway, yeah, absolutely. And yes, very pink today. I'm trying to keep warm, Bella. I didn't want to put anything fancy on because I'm trying to keep warm because it's not very warm. Anyway, so there we go. All of those things. Oh, and the other things that I wanted to say is, with spiritualism, and I've talked about this before. There is a significant date. It's called Hydesville Day, and it's the 31st of March, because it was the 31st of March, 1848, that the Fox sisters first started seeing spirit, and that's when this all started. So they've made that the anniversary. So every year on the 31st of March, spiritualists celebrate. Tina Orfanos, how lovely to see you. Now, you were at the market with us yesterday, and I was just going to talk about it. It's the first time I've done the market, and there were so many people there. It was absolutely packed. However, for us to do our demonstrations, because Tina was doing past life regression, as well as mediumship, and myself doing mediumship, but it just was not conducive to doing that. And I found it frustrating that, I'm trying to talk to somebody and give them messages from spirit, as somebody else is on a microphone and talking about what was it, veganism, and it was very, very loud, and I couldn't concentrate, and I felt as if I did a rubbish job, and I wasn't happy with what I actually did. I don't know how you feel about that, Tina, but I've got to question what that was, what that was about and how it worked, because it just didn't work for me. So but I was very disappointed because I let somebody down, and there was one guy and he desperately wanted to connect to his mother, and he said, oh, you completely missed the mark there. He said, you mentioned my mum and then you skipped over it. But there's all this stuff going on and I just couldn't concentrate, so I didn't take any money off him, and felt really, really bad, and that upset me for the rest of the day. So it was like I didn't really want to participate. And anyway, Kathy said she was very happy with her reading. So one of the ladies who booked in for a show was a lady called Kathy. And I said to her and her husband, I can't do a show. There's not enough people. And it was a strange environment. So I said, do you want a reading each? And I gave them both a reading, and apparently she's happy. So I'm happy. But yeah, I was disappointed with my my performance, because that means I've disappointed the recipient, I've disappointed spirit, but it disappointed me as well. So there's lessons to be learnt from that, I know. Francis Page, lovely to see you. Tia, I'm seeing you tomorrow, and I am desperately going to try and get to your art exhibition in Frankston. I showed one of your paintings, you know, the painting of the floating lady that you've done for me, or that you did, and I bought from you. She saw that and she thought it was absolutely amazing, and she wants to come and have a look at your artwork as well. So if anybody wants some different beautiful artwork, Tia Ecolis, Ecoles. And it's funny because I'm going to repeat this, Tia. You came to me for a reading many years ago, and you just lost your husband, and of course you were in a really, really bad state. And I know that he said, I didn't know that you were an artist, and he's saying something about your painting, and you've got to keep painting. And you went, oh, no, I'm supposed to be an artist, but I'm no good and it's not working. And I said, he's telling me you've got to keep going. Oh, no. He's telling me you've got to keep going. And now Tia is selling artwork, which is amazing, all over the world. So go and have a look at her work. Tia is TEA, and Ecoles is ERCOLES. It is amazing artwork. Don't be too hard on yourself, Val. Well, I am, because I like to do it properly and I like to do it right. And it's interesting because I did 2 days of readings with Nat, and everybody was just blown away with their reading. So I know I can do it right, and I've done readings for you as well, Luke. Yeah, but I know I didn't do it right on the day, so I was very disappointed. And Tia, you are so welcome, because your artwork is amazing, and I love. So I've got this beautiful. I call her my fairy. She's not a fairy because she's floating in water. My girls, by the way, Tia, don't like her face. One of my granddaughters said she looks as if she's scowling. I said she's floating in water and she's concentrating on floating, but it is the most serene picture I've ever seen. And I've got it on a wall that you can't miss it when you come in my home. And everybody goes, wow, but it is a real wow picture. Yeah, Ian, you've seen it, and 199%. Yeah, so Ian's been to my home, Tia, and loves it. But everybody who comes into my home loves that painting. And for me, it is very spiritual. It's funny, I walk past it and I touch it, and I know I'm not supposed to, but every time I walk past it, I get something from it. Every time I look at it, I get something different from it. But I know for me, it feels very, very spiritual. Sometimes people are not meant to get a message for whatever reason, so don't give yourself a hard time. Thank you for that, Lorraine. I really appreciate that. It is hard being a perfectionist. Yeah, you get it as well, Bella. Okay. Whoa. Everybody has days off. Oh, I had an off day, but it was the situation that I was in. Otherwise, I don't have off days. If I am off because of whatever, I will actually cancel my readings and do them on a day when I feel well. Yeah, you agree, Jenny. Don't be so hard on yourself. Thank you. Yeah, but the thing is, it was very difficult because it was the first time I've been, so I couldn't really ask people to turn volumes down and blah blah. But I know next time. Anyway, let me go back to my messages. So the Kardec thing, I couldn't believe the link there. Healing, please let me have your names for healing. This is really, really important. And Mary Perry is talking to Donna. I love it. I love it. I love it. So not only did I do the shows in okay, so I've talked about that. I did the show in Canowindra and I did the show in Romsey, and that was fun. It was fun from start to finish, and there was lots of and I was cold because I didn't have any tights on. I had a summer dress on, and and I was trying to concentrate through the cold. But anyway, spirit got me there, which was really important. So Rosa Albert, lovely to see you. Where are you from, Rosa? And Mary, where are you from? Oh, Mary, you're up in Brisbane. Okay, that's good. So Yeah, but I want to say, want to reach out and say thank you to Nat, because Nat organized, as I said, Nat organized all of that, and it was incredible. Everything went like clockwork. There was, and she was running around like a headless chicken, but there was everything, everything. Oh, Scarborough. Is that Scarborough in the UK or Scarborough in Australia? I don't know if there's Scarborough in Australia, but anyway, lovely to see you. I agree. Don't be disheartened. Everyone who knows and loves you understands. Thank you, Robert. That's really sweet. Toowoomba. Oh, wow. Okay, I know Toowoomba very well because I've worked in Toowoomba. It's right in the middle of nowhere, but it's a beautiful town. So, Nat, I want publicly to say thank you, thank you, thank you for organizing that. And I know you've put a date in the diary for next year, so I'm very excited about that. It'll be put in as soon as we put a date, as soon as we actually have a proper date. So Scarborough in Queensland. Okay. Oh, Mary lives in Queensland. Sorry. Wilson Eve, lovely to see you. And oh, Mum lived there. Yeah, but Nat, you were amazing, absolutely amazing. But it's funny. Through my career, I've had certain people. I could name them, but there is too many, and I don't want to miss anybody out, so I won't. But there's certain people who've said, "Come here, we'll organise," and it's been incredible. And then I've been able to go back time and time and time again, and I love that. I love the fact that people really believe in me. Oh, near Redcliffe. Okay, Rosa, nice to see you. But it's nice that people believe in me, and I'm excited that I can come back. But Nat, you are an amazing. You've become a very good friend, and I just love your energy. You're very like me. Blah 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 blah, and rush 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 rush. So it's nice to meet somebody who's similar to myself. Now I want to go back to talking about the Oceania Athletic Championships. So Emily Thomas, I'm nearly better, by the way. Cough's much, much better. Emily Thomas is going to be in the under 18 championships. I watched her play a football match the other day. This girl, no matter what sport she puts her mind to, she just excels. She's so good. But it was the balloon festival I wanted to talk about, because I was just earlier talking to Emily's mum, Annette, and I said, I want to come next year, but I want to come for the full week. And the dates are already out for the Canowindra Balloon Festival. So it's the 26th of April until the 4th of May. If you get the chance to go and support this town, then absolutely do it, because it's, it's a one street town, and I'm not being rude, but it is a very small town. But the things that go on in this town during Balloon Festival week is incredible. They put on a street parade. They did it for Anzac as well, and then the balloon baskets come through, puffing the flames and the gas, and that noise is incredible. I got woken up by that last week, which is exciting, because then I run out of bed in my pajamas and I'm chasing these balloons and taking pictures in the freezing cold. But the 26th of April to the 4th of May, and they have big concerts, they have balloon glow, they have all sorts of things. Every day there is different things going on, even bingo. And I went to bingo, which should have only gone for 2 hours, but went on for 4 hours. Anyway, I was really happy because lovely Faye Thomas took me, and I was very, very happy to be invited. So I'm now on the Mornington Peninsula, as I say. And I want to go back to the books. I know I'm jumping all over the place today, and I apologize for that. But going back to the pioneers of spiritualism, the books are important. The information is important. The remembering of them is important, because, as I said, without these people, we wouldn't be able to do spiritualism as we do it now. And I was trying to sort of explain spiritualism is better now, and there's a lot more support for it in Australia. And years ago there wasn't. And from the research that I did, Emma Hardinge Britten came in, as I said, and there were others, but the ones I can remember off the top of my head are Emma Hardinge Britten and Arthur Conan Doyle. And they did their bit when they were here, and then they went away and sort of left you all to your own devices. And then it's modern day that people have been coming in and doing more teaching and it growing over here. And I'm really happy that that is the case, because to see mediumship growing is good. But I still want to complain about the fact that, and I've heard lots of people this week talking about this, and this is one of my pet hates. Somebody going to one workshop, and then I think I was talking to you about this, Tina, yesterday, doing one workshop and then going out and charging a gazillion dollars for, saying I'm a medium or I'm a teacher. And that is just really poor show. And I know I've mentioned this again before, but somebody that came to a workshop of mine and I handed out workbooks. I've stopped doing that now. I just hand out worksheets. And she took my workbook. And then a couple of months later, she was teaching a workshop with my workbook. And one of my lovely students actually told me, and I wasn't backward in coming forward, because I actually rang the person who should have been doing the workshop and the person who took the workshop. And did I give them an earful? I've realized I used to be very quiet and very shy. Can you imagine that? But now, when it comes to things that I'm passionate about and I really believe in, and I feel that people have done wrong by me or by somebody else, or with like mediumship, not doing the training properly and then going out and doing this, it is irresponsible. And you don't know you don't know how to deal with people, you don't know the ethics, you just don't. And it's 35 years I've been doing this. Oh gosh, Tina was saying yesterday she's been doing it 20 years. That's what I call the hard yards. We've done the hard yards. That reminds me, I was trying to book some shows once, and I rang a club in Sydney, and they said, "Oh, we have another medium comes here, and he's done the hard yards." And I went, "So have I," but they didn't know me. So according to them, I hadn't done the hard yards. But anyway, so Jan Fitzgerald, hello. I did see, where is she? Where is she? Where is she? Eva, hello from Sweden. And yes, there's lots of people on here tonight, which is really good. So anybody got any questions? Because I'd love to answer questions if I can. Yeah, 1922, Sir Arthur Conan Doyle laid the first brick or stone for foundation on the Brisbane Spiritualist Church. I remember seeing that and taking a photograph of it. And I got a funny feeling that he also laid the foundation stone for Villiers Road Spiritualist Church in the UK, which is the first church that I ever served. And then there it is again in Brisbane, and that is incredible, absolutely incredible. And Bella, you've done the hard yards of life. I know you have, darling, and yeah, and I know it's only 29 years, but you've had a really tough life, and we do appreciate that. Okay, so what's coming up? I've still got a retreat to do on Sunday, but I've actually got a couple of days off, and I'm so excited because my cousin and her husband, I'm on a caravan park where they have a residential caravan, and I will be catching up with them for a couple of days, so it'll be lots of chatting and lots of catching up with family stuff. I actually went to Safety Beach today, and it was beautiful because I came to Australia for the very first time when I was 40, and it was for my 40th birthday celebration. And my aunt and uncle, who is my cousin Jackie, who I'm seeing tomorrow, it was her mum and dad, and they brought myself, my mum, my other aunt and uncle Bob and Ruth, and my daughter Victoria, and we went to Safety Beach, and we sat on a wall and we had drinks. Well, the wall is gone because that was 29 years ago, but I went to Safety Beach and I walked on the beach and thought, oh, this is where they were all sitting and we sat chatting and reminiscing and talking about family and, my nan and things like that. It was just really lovely. So for me, I was walking down to the beach or on the beach and walking along the beach and I was chatting to them as if they were there. So that was really beautiful. So Jan, here I am from New Zealand. Wonderful. Oh gosh, all you people. I'd like to come to New Zealand. Whereabouts in New Zealand are you? Cousin of Donna. Oh, wonderful. Where are you in New Zealand? Because I'm going to try and get back out there. I absolutely love the New Zealand people, and I did a lot of work there a couple of years ago. Um, any thoughts on why there appears to be more females than males who are into spirituality? I think from what I see, that is because they're more in touch with I'm going to say their feminine side. Because when I look at a lot of males, and it's really funny because I see my lovely friend Michael on here, who's a scientist, who wants to be a spiritual, well, he is a spiritualist, but he wants to do mediumship. But he finds his trained scientist versus his spiritual softness really hard, and it just takes over, and he can't get the balance of that. And I think there's a lot of people who have that difficulty. I mean, look, I was the same when I first started. I went, I don't understand this. I don't believe this. This is a load of rubbish. I'm making this up. And I've had to just accept that spirit is with me. Okay. And I've had to accept that I'm talking to dead people. Okay. And I've had to accept that I'm doing a good job. Okay. But it took a long while for me to I mean, I sat in a development circle for so many years and got nothing, because I didn't trust spirit. But once you let go, and I think this is what men have had difficulties. Yeah, absolutely, they don't like to admit it, Ian. Yeah, but once they learn to let go of that. Oh, Sarah, how lovely! Hopefully, I'll catch you in the UK. But once they learn to let go of that masculine side of themselves, who says, no, I can't believe that, and I've got to be, I can't be seen to be talking to dead people. But there are a lot of men who do it, but they are more in touch with their feminine side. So we need more men, and we actually do need more men who are like Michael, the scientist, because I don't know whether it makes it more plausible, but it's. I think we just need more men doing it. The guy the other day that was at the workshop, he said something along those lines. It's learning to let go of my masculine side to be able to link into spirit. And again, it's the trusting. It's a really, really hard. Okay, it's like when you do not that I've done one, but when you do a bungee jump, you've got to, when you do that fall, you've got to trust with your every being, every atom of your body, that rope is going to hold you. And that's what we have to do with spiritualism. We have to trust with every atom of our body that we are really talking to the spirit world. And they're there right by the side of us, but we just don't realize. We say, oh, they're up there, but they're not. They're right with us, by the side of us. Yeah, lovely to see you as well, Ian. And you, sorry, Sarah. But yeah, men don't like to admit to these things. And thank you, Donna. You always do a good job. I didn't the other day, I feel, when you were over, please. Yes, and I'm coming over, Sarah, on the... Now, what date do I fly? I arrive in the UK on the 6th of May. I thought it was the 10th, and I thought I had time between my flight and my finishing here, but oh my gosh. But I have bought myself 4 hours, so I've got an extra 4 hours to get from this Mornington Peninsula to Sydney Airport, which is really good. Okay. Hi, Roger from Bristol. And it is like taking a leap of faith, because it's not only you And I remember my training days actually. I'd be in the class and I'd stand on stage and I remember it was like pulling teeth, you know, oh, I got this ring. And the teacher would say, okay, who does it belong to? Well, a lady. What sort of ring is it? It's got a stone. What finger is it on the wedding finger? And who do you feel it's for? And then you've got to go to the audience and choose who that ring is for. And the whole thing is such a it's a scary process because you don't want to get it wrong. I never want to get anything wrong, and sometimes I doubt myself, and I shouldn't, because spirit are so determined that they've got to get that message out, and the messages always go out to the right people as well. Okay, I missed Leanne's question. Leanne. Okay, I've got it. Oh, Kaipo. Okay. So I have a question, Val. Is it harder for someone to come through for a reading if they've left the physical world by suicide? No, 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 no. You know, okay, and this may be a bit controversial, but I think when somebody has actually taken their own life, it takes a lot of courage and a lot of strength. They know that they're doing wrong, but a lot of those people, and again, maybe controversial, but when we come into this world, our time for going out is already marked. So every single one of you will have your date of exiting written up there somewhere in the archives, in the what do they call them? The Akashic records. Okay, so Val Hood's name is there, but I'm supposed to go when I'm 92, and I've asked them for an extra 10 years. I hope they give it to me because I need it. But when somebody commits suicide, they have done, and if you know somebody that's committed suicide, have a look at their lives, because they have achieved certain things. And if they haven't achieved things in their physical life, they've achieved things in their passing, because it raises questions about, you know, how can we change things? How can we make things different? How can we make the mental health system better? And I know that, you know, when I've seen people who've committed suicide or seen what the after effects of that, it is uh, it's it's created a whole series of questions that need to be answered. So I feel that no, it doesn't stop them from coming through. And the ones that I've had come through, and the information that they've brought through, because a lot of them, when they go over, they then help. Hello, Ty. They then help others that are going into, so they do arrive in the spirit world from taking their own lives, and they also help Earthside to stop people who are thinking about it. Now, I think that is amazing, because they've got a double job. They've got a really hard job. So when they go over to the spirit world, they don't, you know, they don't go into the, I'm going to sit on a riverbank, you know, fishing all day. They have a good job to do, and they have a big job to do. So they haven't wasted their lives. And when you actually tell a mum that your son is in the spirit world, but he's doing such a great job helping others who've arrived for the same reason, or stopping people earthside from doing those things, then that is really lovely, and it makes them feel I'm going to say happier than they were before, you know, knowing that their son killed themselves. Because, you know, when you've lost somebody to suicide, you ask the questions: what did I do? Did I miss something? Should I have done something different? There's all those questions that you ask yourself. But when Akashic Library, yes, the Akashic records, that's right. But when okay, I hope you understand. Okay, okay. But does that make sense to you, Leanne, as far as he's concerned? Because I know that the questions that are left when they've left create change. That's what I see. They create change. And I know even I remember dealing with a lot of people who'd lost children. And it was a phase where I was going through with my own children. They all had something that could have taken them over to the spirit world. And I was terrified, as you would be. And I said to Spirit, what am I missing? What are you showing me? How long have I got my children for? And they said, you've got them for this long. And I knew that, you know, that long could be how long is a piece of string? But while I've got them, they're the most important, precious things to me. But then, I'm looking at these children that are passing, and looking at the poor parents. But the number of people whose children passed from maybe SIDS or something like that, and then the work that is done afterwards, to try and find out why that happened. How can we change that? I know Anne Diamond was a newsreader on the UK television, and she lost her son from SIDS. And it was weird because I'd seen her walking through, I think it was not the change in the guard, it was the trooping of the colour at Buckingham Palace, and she was in the crowd with a baby in the pram. And a month or so later, this little boy died. But then I saw the incredible work that she did to study SIDS and find out how we can make the changes. And I know that the work that not only she did, but lots of other people did, made a difference. So there is, and I know it's hard, and I don't want to cause a problem, but nobody passes for no reason, and everybody comes into this world for a reason, and everybody exits for a reason. That's my take on it. But you can believe what you want to believe. It's don't take my word for it, but this is just what I have seen from the experiences and the readings that I've done for people. So yeah, and Bella's just saying individuals have been telling me how to navigate my life without move on. And it does really hurt, Bella, you're right. But the experiences that you had with will be with you for life, because she was a lifetime friend. And that doesn't finish because she's passed, because she still communicates with you in such a huge way. I know that. Okay, I'd like to know if my husband Grant knew he was passing as he was sedated. I would say yes, Mary, because once somebody is ready to go, they've already exited their bodies. So it's like somebody that's in a coma, they're actually not in their bodies. And when somebody's got Alzheimer's, they're not really in their bodies. So I would say yes. And he would probably have been standing by the side of you, helping you. And again, I've heard that time and time again. So I hope that makes sense. Ty's got a question. Why do mediums have differing views on multiple lives, fate, and free choice? Because we're all individuals, and we all have different schools of learning. Yeah, I'm not knocking anybody's anybody's answers on any of these things. I'm not knocking it, because we are all different. But what was it? Why do mediums have different views on multiple? I believe in multiple lives. I believe in past lives. I've done past life regression, and I was amazed by the amount of lives that I went through. I was a mathematician even in the pyramids. I was an old lady that was I lived on a farm, and I had all these children. My husband had been killed in a farm machinery accident. I was a banker in Bath, and it was amazing because the guy who was doing this past life regression said, so I want you to stand in front of the mirror. I had the thickest head of black hair and these big sideburns down here, and I had a long frock coat, and I can't remember, but I had my name and address. I've got them written down somewhere so I can check up on it, but it was in Bristol, and I had 2 children, Emily, and I can't remember the other one, and my wife was there as well. So it's incredible. So yes, we do have multiple lives, and I'm just looking to see fate and free choice. So okay, do I believe in fate? I believe in, like I've just said, our time for going is already there, but we also have free choice. So if we say to spirit, like I did, you've told me I'm going to go when I'm 92, but I want another 10 years, please, because I've got too much work to do. So Val Hood's going to be working till she's 102. Can you imagine 102-year-old Val Hood? Okay. Thank you, Wilson. I appreciate that. And Donna says that's my belief too. I'm glad somebody else believes like me. Helen Ryan. Hi, Val. What is transmigration of souls? Do you know what? I'm not sure. So I'm not going to give you an answer to that. And if somebody else can, then that's fine. And I'm honest. If I'm nothing else, I will always be honest because I don't want to give you a made up idea. Do I already know the buyer of the business, please, Val? Yes, I just got told yes. Okay. I believe in angels and heaven. Do you think individuals who are evil in this life, e.g., murderers, rapists, etc., keep coming back, but struggle in life until they learn their lesson? Absolutely. You know, we're all given lessons, and if you imagine a ladder, okay, and we have all got to work our way up the spiritual ladder. And every time we come into this life, it's a lesson. And then when we go back to the spirit world after we finish that life, they'll go, "Did you do a good job or not?" And if you didn't, then they'll send you back. Now, this is very controversial. And I was talking to somebody about this the other day. Somebody who's done murders and whatever. Maybe that was their job to do, and maybe they did it the right way because that was again about learning, and getting over mistakes or stop mistakes happening. um, Again, I don't know, but I believe that that's why I'm trying to do the best I can in this lifetime, because I don't want to come back. I've had enough. And I feel that, when I go over to the spirit world, I'm going to go over with the biggest size boxing gloves that I can find, because I'm going to go, yeah, don't you dare send me back. But I don't know. You don't know what the spirit will deem a good job, whether I've done the right job. I may have made a complete mess of it, and they may say, "Sorry, Val, you got to go back and do this again." But yeah, so we do keep coming back until we've put it right, until we've done it right. Soulmates are definitely a thing, absolutely. Um, Thank you. And I do it with love. And and I make you smile. I love that. Years ago, my friend used to call me Miss Colgate. Now, I didn't know whether to be happy with that or not happy with that. But now I realize Miss Colgate was an advert, the lady with the Colgate teeth, and she used to smile, and there was a golden sparkle on her teeth. But I've always got a smile on my face if I can. Um, A, Donna. Okay. Yeah, and as long as you're understanding it, and look, everybody's entitled to their own opinions on things, but don't get. It's like somebody just asked me about transmigration of souls. I don't know, so I won't tell you, and I'm not going to make it up because I'm going to make an absolute idiot of myself. And I will never do that. So I'll always be honest with everybody. Okay. So you're not coming back without your girl. I love that, Bella. Okay. So from here, I go to, as I said, the Mornington Peninsula, and I've got a retreat. And lovely lady has booked me 4 hours earlier, so it's given me 4 hours extra to get home because I fly the following day to the UK. And then I'm doing the show at the Mornington Peninsula, that retreat, which I'm looking forward to. It'll be lovely. And then I'm going to be working with the most incredible Jenny Doherty, who is incredible is not the right word for her, but she is one of the best mediums I've ever seen, and I absolutely adore working with her because there's that honesty and that transparency with her, and I absolutely love that. You watch some mediums and you think, yeah, you're making it up, or you go as you go along, and I don't like that because it's trying to dupe people. And again, I wouldn't do that. What's your view on? Oh, okay, hold on. Mel, I'm at my wit's end with my bad health, really struggling. Do you have any advice? Mel, you know, I travel with, I can't tell you how many bottles I've got of vitamins. I eat as healthily as I possibly can. Tonight I was so excited because I brought my air fryer for the first time with me, and I cooked cauliflower steaks. Oh my goodness me, it was the yummiest. But I cook so healthily, and yeah, look, I end up eating wrong food. But I had this throat bacteria which was really, really bad, and I'm just coming to the end of it, thank goodness. But but my vitamins travel with me everywhere, and I absolutely swear by them. But eating the right foods, and I would say try that, Mel. I really would. And look, I'm not a doctor, and I don't prescribe because that's not what we're supposed to do. But I know that if you ask for the spirit world to heal you before you go to sleep at night time, just ask them, can you please heal my body? If you've got any crystals, put the crystals down in front of you, feel the energy. And when you feel the energy, pick it up and put it into your body. I was talking about this last week from the crystal grid. So try doing that as well, because the energy from crystals is amazing. But the vitamins and good food, we all slip up. And I'm feeling really bloated at the moment. So that's why I'm back on the smoothies, and some of them look disgusting and don't taste that brilliant, but they work. So I hope that helps you. But what's your view on the importance of gratitude and its impact on spiritual development? Gratitude is one of the biggest things. I know years ago when I read The Secret, and I've still got the signs on my board in my office, and it said words become things, and I've got that up there. And there were so many other things, and it said about doing the vision board. But I'm always grateful for everything, and I say that every day, to the spirit world. I do say it to the spirit world. Thank you for being with me. Thank you for giving me this ability. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to work with so many wonderful people. And thank you for me being able to help people through you. And thank you for being able to do the healing. So that is gratitude is an extremely important part of your spiritual development, because if we're not grateful, how can we be spiritual? Okay, so I hope that helps. Is Mum happy with our decisions for Dad? Absolutely, yes. For Wilson, yeah. And you know what? It's okay. If I say to you that when we're here in the physical, we've still got a life to lead, and your mum would understand that certain things had to be done for your dad to be happy, but for you all to be happy as well with him. And I feel that it's been a difficult decision, but it was the right decision. So Bella found, yeah, the same with COVID. The cleaner I eat, the better my symptoms are. Absolutely. It's the same with all of us. I can't believe the things I've cut out of my diet. But then I went and bought myself some ginger chocolate today. I love that's my favorite. Jenny says I take vitamins and minerals and eat healthy, and I'm looking at why I keep getting chest infections. But something tells me with you, Jenny, there's something about damp and mold spores. I don't know what that means, but I hope you understand that. And maybe you should look into that, because I know when I lived in the UK, if I lived anywhere near trees and fallen leaves, the spores that were in there, that caused me to end up in hospital. I can't tell you how many times. I went running through, because I love running through leaves and kicking them up and listening to that crunching under feet. The following day I was in hospital. So have a look at that, Jen. I'm not sure that's so true about the words. Yep. Have a say aside. Gratitude is the attitude. I love that one. I'm going to have to write that one down because I like that one. Funny how you mentioned food, as I think it's coming from my gut. Yes. And you know what? A good probiotic is always good, and lots of yogurt, because then you're doing a double whammy with the with the gut. Ashley, how are you doing? I hope your uni stuff is going right. Yep, mold exposure's dangerous. It was oh gosh, it nearly killed me, that's for sure. I ended up I had no lung capacity, and I was so grateful that I went into hospital and they sorted me out. So Jen, just please take a look at that. I think you need to okay. Sauerkraut. You know what? Somebody told me about a month ago about sauerkraut, and I went out and bought the biggest jar, and I've just been eating it from the jar. It's incredible stuff. And what's the other say? Kimchi. I haven't heard of that one, but we'll give it a go. Um, I'm mum and dad about how aware about how I'm being treated. Are they helping me? Causing me so much distress and anxiety at the moment, as I just don't know why this is happening. You know, sometimes, Gail, we have to make decisions for ourselves, and we have to take ourselves out of situations. Um, I don't know the situation you're in, but I can only talk about my own situation, which seems relevant. But I was in 2 marriages, and I had to walk out of 2 marriages because I was shriveling up, by the way I was being treated or not treated. And I had to walk away from them. It's caused all sorts of problems with my children. Anyway, but I did it for my own sanity. I was turning into, I'm trying to think of the right word. Gosh, I was a shadow of my former self because of the way I was being treated. I was being diminished as a person, annihilated as a woman and a character, and I was, all my confidence was being knocked literally out of me. So sometimes we have to make a decision. Enough's enough. This is about me and my life, and I need to make myself happy. Take some heed from that. And Robert said how to change his diet. Absolutely, yes. Yeah, good. So Jenny's bought the sauerkraut. Can be fairly spicy though. Oh, kimchi. Yep. Okay, I understand that. Coming on to 2 years without mum, and I'm dreaming of her so much lately. I'm asking her questions, but she smiles and won't talk back, which was not her, as she always had things to say. Okay, so what's happening is you're visiting your mum in the spirit world. So when we work in, okay, Gail, I'll come back to you on that one. When we go to sleep at nighttime, our spirit sleeps, our spirit doesn't. No, our physical body sleeps and our spirit doesn't. So we're in the spirit world connecting to the people we want to. Now, the fact that she's not talking to you, I think, I'm just tapping into it, is she needs to talk to you when you're awake. Okay. So mum is by the side of you, and I want you to have a conversation with her when you're awake. And then I'm being told she will then give you her answers. Okay. So listen to that. Gail, if it's your children, you still need to walk away from them, because no children deserve to treat you badly when you've brought them into the world. And you know, it's really, oh, I hear this story such a lot. I think there is one in every family where one of the children don't talk to you anymore because you're a rotten mother or whatever. And you know, like I've just said, your children don't know what you've had to go through or what you've had to endure. And I know mine don't, because I didn't tell them. They saw some of it and they understood some of it, but they didn't understand all of it. So your children, you need to walk away from that. Absolutely. And don't feel bad about it. This is your life. You've only got one chance at it. So Gail, make sure that that life counts. Am I finally heading in the right decision for a career? I feel yes. Now, I know that you're doing your degree, Ashley, and I know you're great with children. So the two things sort of go hand in hand. And I know you're most amazing photographer, and I know that you've got lots of other things that you do as well. All the new photographs, by the way, of me on the beach in my lovely cream colored dress were taken by Ashley, and they are some of the nicest photographs I've ever had. But Ashley, I do feel that you're on the right track. Don't question it, just do it. And make sure you see it through to the end, because you will be so grateful. Thank you, Val. I will. I have so much to say. And when you're talking to your mum, and this is the same to all of you, when you're talking to your loved ones in the spirit world, uh, gosh, I've gone over. Sorry, I didn't think I'd have enough to talk about tonight. But anyway, when you're talking to your people in the spirit world, okay, don't expect them to stand in front of you and go, "Hello, how are you?" Okay, they will start to give you signs, because one, they don't want to frighten you. And imagine if you suddenly saw your mum standing in front of you, you'd probably go grey and, pass out. But just allow them to slowly come in, and then listen and watch out for the signs, because it could be the most simple, silly, innocuous, is that a word? It sounds good, so I'm being given it, so I'm going to give you um, little things. So pay attention to the little things, and then just keep talking. This happened to me many years ago. I started seeing spirit in my early days of doing this work, and I'd see them walking up and down the corridor and up and down my stairs, and I was terrified. So I used to say, I know you're there, thank you, but I'm not quite sure why you're there or who you are, but thank you. And the more I did that, the more I was able to see and sense and hear. And eventually I found out it was my grandparents, who were very proud and happy to be connecting to me. Ashley, do it, do it, do it. How do I know I'm on the right path? Says Diana. Someone I once loved died just over a year ago, and it took me back 17 years. I actually want to say don't go back 17 years, because where you are now is where you're meant to be. So you need to deal with that and then move forward. Okay, we're in the right place now, and we have to make those decisions from here forward, to make our lives the best we can. And it's not about the past, because what do they say? We can't change the past and we can't affect the future, but we can do today. And today is a very, very important day. Okay, so put Dawn on the healing list. Yes, absolutely. Gail says thank you. Don't worry about going over time. I could listen to you for hours. Robert, you're a darling. Okay, right. I think, before I go, I was talking about the UK, and I got stopped and interrupted. How dare you? Okay, the UK is amazing. I've got Blackpool, 2 dates. One is at the Grand Hotel, and the other one is the Marine Theatre. So it is the Grand Hotel, and the Marine Theatre, or is it the Grand Theatre? Sorry, Caterham Soper Hall, 2 events. So that's 4. The Tea Rooms in Havant, Portchester Community Centre, Ventnor Spiritual Church, the Royal Oak in Swanage, and and most of those days are selling out. So if you want tickets to any of those, you need to go and have a look now, because they're going. Okay. Now I have got other dates coming up. I've got Mortdale RSL in Sydney when I get back. And I've got an online demonstration with Denise Wilkinson, which I'm really excited about. Yes, yesterday is history, tomorrow's a mystery, today is a gift. That was Kung Fu Panda. I know somebody else said it, but I always think of Kung Fu Panda. So yesterday's history, let it go. Tomorrow's a mystery, we don't know. And today is a gift, and that is the gift of life. And we need to make sure we take that gift and embrace it as much as we possibly can. Don't miss the gift of today. Don't miss the gift of giving. Don't miss the gift of gratitude, and don't miss the gift of love. There are so many people around you, and everybody loves you in a different way, and that's what you need to see. It's everybody loves you in a different way. Have you had a dream expert on as a guest yet? No, I haven't actually. Maybe I should look up. I've got lots of other experts coming in the next couple of months, which I'm really excited about and looking for that. Aurora for Healing book, most definitely. Okay, Mary Perry, lots of love to you. Thank you. Now, everybody, please be grateful. Show the gratitude. Give the love. Accept the love. And accept all of these things as well, because you deserve You deserve it all. You deserve the love. You deserve the gratitude, and any of the other words that I said. But go and have a look at as much as you can as of the Ah, Renee, you know somebody that does dream interpretation. Oh, please, can you send me the information? Because that would be lovely to have them on. Thank you so much, Renee. I didn't realize you were watching. Um, and of course, I had Renee on a couple of weeks ago, or a couple of months ago, who did the Feng Shui, and oh my gosh, it's made such a difference to me in my life. So thank you. And thank you, Luke. I nearly, do you know what, Luke? I was driving past the sign for Kuma. So I took the turning, and then the sign said 200 kilometers. And I thought, oops, go back. I haven't got time to do that right now, but I'm going to come and see your beautiful spot in your lovely sanctuary, because I would love to do that. But travel, travel, travel. I'm going to be on the go now. I'm looking forward to my next 4 or 5 days off, spending it with my lovely cousin. No live next week, remember, because I'm on a plane. So I think it might be a bit difficult, but I will look forward to seeing you the following week, because I will be there. You'll see the notices coming out. But please take care of you all, and remember, be kind to yourselves. That's important. I need to remember that one as well, don't I? But I've loved tonight. You guys have been amazing. Thank you for all the feedback. Thank you for all the wonderful questions. And we will see you soon. And I will see you the week after next. Okay. Much love to you all, and take good care of yourself, and lots of healing to all of those who are in need. Okay. Lots of love. Lots of love.